Thor is reborn as a human with no memory of his godly powers, but that doesn't mean he is done fighting evil. With his hammer, he blows the biker gang's brain out. He shows no mercy in the Asgard. Thor has been battling the Utgard gods, ancient deities who want to manipulate all realities. In this journey, Thor faces many challenges, defeats the god of violence, the god of ghosts and mysteries, but in the end, he overcomes all the challenges. Even Thor couldn't realize that he could conquer, but at the end of the battle, he is betrayed by his own sibling, Loki. He stabs him from the back with an arrow powered by Eternity Mask, but this time Thor couldn't escape from his fate. He died and he is sent to the land of the dead. On the other side, Scourge is protecting the Asgardians from the undead horde who are traveling through the Black Bridge, which is also connected with the Rainbow Bridge. But the increasing number of the undead make the situation worse, so with no options left, Scourge destroys the Black Bridge with his blood axe. He sacrifices his own life to protect the Asgard, but in doing so, it also destroys the Rainbow Bridge. The bridge was the connection between Asgard and Midgard, and now, as the border is gone, Asgard becomes isolated, disconnected from the other realms, and the worst part is, no one remembers them. The Earth forgets Thor. Even the Avengers don't remember him, as his role has been taken by Beta Ray Bill. But Thor's destiny doesn't end here. He becomes mortal with a secret identity, Sigurd Jarlson, who first appeared in the 80s, an alternate ego of Thor, and he is greeted by a boy named Lucky, an alter ego of Loki, helping out his brother in his mortal form. Welcome to Comicstube YouTube channel. In today's video, we will review Chapter 1 and 2 of Mortal Thor. So if you guys are new here, please subscribe and turn on the notifications to never miss any future uploads. Please like, comment and share. All the text and images are owned by its respected company. You can support them by purchasing it digitally or from any offline stores. The story begins with mortal Thor watching a TV show about gods and their mythology. Everyone believes in them, but there is no proof that God exists. They are saying the gods are made by humans and Norse mythology was never real. And Sigurd, who forget everything about his powers, his true identity, is trying to adjust in his daily life. The only thing he remembers, his name, and he is working with a hammer. He even got electrocuted while trying to plug the oven. He needs to find a job, so packing his things, he locks his room, and on his way, he meets his neighbor, Christine. She is friendly to Sigurd, but she is also confused at what he is doing here and how did he forget everything. Sigurd is also confused. He believes he got engaged in a fight and got hit on the head. He was on the street, but luckily someone found him and gave him his apartment key, and now he has bills with his name on them, and if they don't pay, the owner will kick him out. Soon, he arrives at the construction site owned by Roxxon Corporation, the evil organization that Thor was fighting when he was a god, and Sigurd says the workers are on a strike and the company's CEO is torturing them, forcing them to sign the non-disclosure agreement, and if they don't, they will take them to the court. The workers are scared. They need to take care of their family, so they agree, and one by one, they are signing on the papers. But then, the Corporation's evil gang notices Sigurd. They approach him, but then Sigurd sees the Norse signs in their hands, the rune of Thor. They describe it as a god of strength and power who rule the entire world. They call themselves the Thunder Gods, but Sigurd doesn't like this. He believes they are mistreating Thor's name. He simply tells them he will not work for them. They are torturing their own workers, forcing them to work overnight in low salary, and he will not stand on this. And seeing Sigurd leaving, the other workers also got the motivation. They begin to leave Roxxon. The CEO doesn't like this, so he tells his boys to take care of that man. Sometime later, while crossing a dark alley, Sigurd is confronted by the Thunder Gods gang. They corner him, pull out their knives, telling Sigurd that he has offended their god. Thor is angry and he wants to punish the unrighteous. Sigurd tries to convince them not to do this. They can talk, but one of them grabs him with chains and the other is threatening Sigurd with his knife. But he has had enough, and before they could realize anything, one of them gets smashed in the face by a hammer. Sigurd cracked his skull open. Everyone gets shot. They all charge on him, but they are too slow. Sigurd with his hammer becomes unstoppable. He doesn't care anymore, bashing their heads left and right. But then one jumps on Sigurd, catches him off guard. He takes him into the ground, but in reply, he gives a powerful knee, and as it slows him down, Sigurd then picks up his bloodied hammer. The man charges on him, but with a powerful swing, Sigurd blows his brain out. All of them are done, except one. He is scared, asking Sigurd, who is he? So he replies, they told him Thor was angry. He wanted to punish the unrighteous. So right now, Sigurd allows him to leave, but he has to tell his friends that Thor is coming. Meanwhile, in Christine's apartment, she is drawing a mythological figure that pretty much has the resemblance to Sigurd's face. And then she hears the doorbell. It is Sigurd. He is wounded, and Lucky has brought him here, and he quickly escapes. Christine takes him to her room. She quickly rushes to call the hospitals, but Sigurd says there is no need to call them. He can take care of his wounds. He just needs a medical kit. Sigurd is also surprised that Christine drew his face. She is also surprised as she drew it without remembering Sigurd's face, and now she believes he has the perfect figure, just like the gods. So while he is stitching the wound, Christine asks him what happened to him. So Sigurd tells her everything. Roxanne sent his dogs to take his life. For talking back, he knocked 2 of their guys, but the third one escaped. And while investigating the bodies, he found one of their details and from where they belong, the Rough House Club. Hearing this, Christine advises to call the cops, but Sigurd believes it's a bad idea. They would arrest him, and he doesn't have a lawyer to fight back. Christine is confused as how did he stitch up his wounds like a surgeon, and what he is going to do now. And it seems Sigurd has a plan, but he needs a favor. He needs a rope, like a bungee cord. After 4 hours of traveling, Sigurd finally locates the Rough House. Inside the club, the man who escaped the fight is telling his boss everything, and he is pissed. They had knives, but instead of using them, they were beaten to death by a simple hammer. So for his cowardice, the boss decides to kill him. The man begs him to show mercy, give him another chance. The boss thinks for a moment, so he gives him a chance. Find that Swedish man and torture him. They will not kill him, but they will kill all of his friends, his neighbors, his dog. He take all he has. He's going to die ugly. And then they hear someone is knocking the door, so the boss sends him to check who it is. So he goes to open the door, but before he could sense the danger, he sees a flying hammer, and he again gets smashed in the face. Sigurd is using the hammer like an actual Mjolnir, attaching it with a bungee cord and swinging the hammer with his full force. He reminds the gang he doesn't have friends, doesn't know his identity, but he remembers what is the true meaning of Thor. He is not a god, only of strength, who only take and hurt the innocents. The Thor he knows is a protector. If he sees a thing that is wrong, he must break the sky to make it right. They wanted Thor, so here he is. The battle becomes intense, and within a minute, he destroys all the gang members. Only one remains. He begs him to show mercy, so Sigurd agrees, and while leaving, he tells him to bury the tapes and change your life. All of you, change your life, or I will come back. Soon this incident spreads like a fire, so the Roxanne contacts a special military group. The head of the snake, the serpent, and the leader accepts the job, and it is Donal Blake, Thor's mortal form, who got defeated by Thor and Loki, and now he has taken the name Serpent, which means he is destined to kill Thor. As in the Norse mythology, Thor is fated to die by the word serpent, and now Blake has taken that name, and he is Thor's true end. And with this, the chapter 2 of Mortal Thor comes to a close. So what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this one, then please subscribe, as this will motivate me to make more contents. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.